Anne-Marie from brambleberry.com. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today, I'm going to be doing a very popular project. That's right, I'm going to be working with a foaming bath butter to make a sugar scrub. Now, sugar scrubs can be made a whole host of ways. The easiest way to make a sugar scrub is to add a little bit of oil and a little bit of sugar, or some people like salt, and mix that up. And then you can use that to exfoliate your skin and leave it soft and moisturized. But some people complain that it's a little oily and it can leave the tub or the shower a little oily. This project fixes all that and more. The secret to this project is this foaming bath butter base. This foaming bath butter base is basically a synthetic detergent base made with very, very gentle surfactants to create this solid foaming bath butter. So on its own, you can use this foaming bath butter without any additives. I like a little more moisturizing and conditioning and a little bit more interest on the ingredient labels. So aloe butter is basically coconut oil mixed with aloe extract, and it is really fantastic for skin. Conditioning, moisturizing, leaves skin feeling soft. And then we have squalane oil. Squalane's kind of like an ingredient du jour right now. It's having its heyday because it is considered lightweight, it absorbs into skin really easily, it's non-greasy, and ours is derived from the pits of olives. Sugar, well, Brambleberry doesn't sell sugar. You can get that at the grocery store, but this is just plain table sugar. And then the fragrance we're doing today is Peony and Amberwood. This fragrance is really kind of moody and sultry. It obviously uses peony and amberwood, but also has supporting notes of musk, a little bit of lilacs and those violets and those purple flowers. It's a very complex floral with a little bit of kind of sultriness in it. So if you really like florals and you like something more complex, definitely give this one a try. We're going to be using the Rose Pearl Mica for our colorant, just a tiny little bit of color to add interest. And finally, the Brambleberry glass jars. Now, this is a giant amount of product. You might not want to make it in this size. So keep that in mind when you're buying your jars. If you're like, actually, no, my customers do not need a full 16 ounces of this product. They really just need 4 ounces or 8 ounces. Keep that in mind. So any glass or plastic jar will do. Ready to get started? I'm going to show you how easy it is. The first thing we need to do is get our foaming bath butter out. You could scoop it out. I'm gonna try and just cut mine out. So I'm just gonna cut it easily and then get it into my large container. Since this will kind of poof up in volume, my container is larger than it needs to be because this entire project gets floofy, which is really fun. One note about that fluffiness or floofiness is that it can definitely deflate if you whip too much. And so that's kind of one of those, when you see it things. I know this looks like it's really hard and you're like, that's not gonna do anything. It totally does. It's this magical kind of mix of synthetic detergents that are mild surfactants that just turn into this beautiful whipped scrub. So first things first, we are going to get this kind of broken up. So mixing this up took about, 45 seconds. It's a lot like frosting. So everything now is on the side of our mixing containers. I'm just gonna take my clean spatula, just kind of push it down towards the middle, and it'll end up all going back on the sides anyways after we mix in our oils, but it's good to start with the corpus of it in the middle. So here we have our 2 ounces of aloe butter. That's gonna go in. And I'm going to add 1 ounce of squalane. Then I'm gonna mix all of that in briefly just to kind of make sure it gets in there before adding my fragrance and my color. What I don't want to happen is all of the squalane and the fragrance to go out. So I'm gonna kind of start this on low and be a little gentle with it. This could not be more gloriously floofy and fluffy. It looks so good. All right, so now I'm just gonna scrape slowly down the sides, add my fragrance oil, and then it will be time to mix up one more time, just briefly, and then it'll be time just to fold in our sugar, just like regular baking. All right, 9 milliliters of this Peony and Amberwood. this usage rate is pretty low, and the reason for that is there's nothing in this project that would change the consistency or the kind of scent profile of the fragrance. So like in cold process soap, obviously we have really high pH, and so the usage rate's a lot higher, whereas this is basically neutral or inert, so we get a pretty nice low usage rate for our fragrance. It does still smell really beautiful though, and I really think that the color we chose goes nicely with it as well. Color choice is of course up to you, and you could leave it white, but I do like a little bit of color contrast in there. I'm just sort of hand stirring this in really quickly because I don't want to over whip. And now I'm going to add in my colorant. We're just going to go with 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon because, you know, what you see is what you get. Remember, you want to start low though because you can't take it out. And the last thing you want is to add too much color and have something lather up pink, for example. I'm just going to hand stir this in just to kind of get the powders mixed in just a little before I put in my mixer, because we don't want those powders getting all aerosolized and going everywhere and not staying in our mix. So here we go. Mix in the color and mix in the fragrance now. Okay, and just gonna pull these down and make sure I'm fully mixed. I can see there's some white underneath that didn't quite get perfectly mixed in, so I'm just gonna use my elbow strength here. Yeah, there we go. And having white left over that's not totally pink is not the end of the world. It's just nice from a consistency standpoint to have it all look the same. All right, and now it's time to fold in our sugar. Now you can use a little bit more, a little bit less, kind of depends on what your preference is. This foaming bath butter is very forgiving, very stable. It can totally take a lot of sugar. I'm going to just fold it in kind of like you do with baking, and then I'm gonna add some more before I also give it another whipping. So I've got my sugar mostly folded in, so now I'm just gonna get into this whipping process. And I'm gonna turn it on low, again, not too high. So now I'm just gonna get in here and kind of move things around and make sure that everything is fully whipped, because that bottom layer, the mixer tends not to quite get it. Like I see some persnickety sugar that needs to be blended in. So now I'm gonna do that all over again, now that I've gotten the bottom layer back up to the top. Whee! That was fun. There you have it. That is how easy and simple it is to make this project. Now, of course, if you're making this project to sell, make sure you're using good manufacturing practices, which means you're actually using gloves and you have your hair in your hairnet and you are working in a clean kitchen environment. I hope you loved this video. You can buy all the ingredients at brambleberry.com. And please subscribe to the channel and tell me what else you'd like me to make in the comments, because I'm here to help you be a better crafter, better soap maker, better DIYer. Until next time, everyone, happy soaping.